Hi everyone, and welcome to a tutorial that Colleen and I have for you guys today on how to remove really foul odors from your dolls. So by foul odors, I'm referring to the biggest one of them all, cigarette and nicotine smell. Everyone knows that that's super duper hard to get off your dolls, and just a regular wash and shampoo and boil wash and even putting them around good smelling things like dryer sheets and other clean dolls doesn't seem to do the trick. This can also be used for like cat urine odor, so dolls get peed on, mold, etc. Now of course there are other things you can soak your dolls in. Bear in mind you want to use good judgment with this, and you want to always be careful when using any kind of chemicals on your dolls. I am not one who likes to use chemicals on my dolls. That's why I always use baking soda and dish soap, and I understand that like other things appeal to other people more. That's your prerogative, but always do your research and make sure that these things aren't going to have long-term effects on your dolls. So what I'm going to show you today are 4 different things. We're going to do a little experiment to show you what works the best and what smells the best the longest. So we have 4 different things. We have Gain laundry detergent, we have homemade laundry detergent, we have white vinegar, and we have OxiClean, the powdered stuff. So we're gonna show you the 4 dolls in a minute. I picked dolls based on being like the same level of smelly. They're all from the same previous owner, and they all smell like cigarettes, and they all have the bend and snap rubbery legs, and they're all in the same body mold, just because like a Ken doll has like thicker legs and might hold smell more because he's rubbery, and a doll with smooth legs will probably smell better sooner because they don't have like that clingy stuff. And I'm not going to be soaking their hair. That's again your prerogative. I don't see why it would hurt the hair because the hair is plastic too, but I would be concerned about like the face paint and soaking it in anything, so I'm not going to be soaking my doll's hair. I will say that bad odors do dissipate over time if you have a doll long enough and you keep them clean and you wash them enough.
The worst case of bad odor I've ever seen is a few years back, what, 2012, 2013? A family friend gave us a Camp Barbie that was stuffed back in her box, and the box had grown very bad mold. She still, to this day, still has a hint of mold, but back then she smelled so bad. We tried everything you're going to see here and more.
Yeah,
to get rid
I even
of the
diluted
smell.
a little bit of bleach because I was concerned that maybe the mold was still like active. So you could use bleach, a few like little drops, but I like to stay away from bleach because that stuff is extremely toxic and extremely strong.
Another thing we do if a doll smells really, really bad, like on the legs, which is usually where you smell it, is what we call a personal dryer sheet. We keep the dryer sheets in the container with everybody, but if a doll's really bad, we give her a personal dryer sheet and rub her stinky legs in it.
So I also have tried this on my sleepover Leah, Brad's doll. She was single-handedly the worst case of cigarette damage you will ever meet. Her torso was dark yellow, like pea yellow. It was so dark, and it was to the point where when I got her a better body, I actually had to give her a new body because she was that discolored, and she would make her clean clothes smell foul. And when I soaked her in Gain laundry detergent, that was the only thing that made the smell go away.
We've told the dolls that they need to adhere to a strictly non-smoking lifestyle. That's one of the rules we insist upon.
Because I have gotten I had like 75-ish dolls from this particular lot, I obviously didn't want to soak all of them.
Plus they're spread through so many containers that they'll eventually
the
smell
other
like
dolls that smell like candy and good things like, you know, kind of take away some.
And the dolls from the batch we got before this smelled exactly the opposite.
So these are the tools of the trade. So I don't use regular laundry detergent anymore because it's expensive and I make my own. So this is what it looks like. It's basically a borax washing soda, a bar of soap, and really hot water. That's all it is, and it's safe for my guinea pigs and stuff. But I have this because it was on sale, and I like to use this in my carpet shampooer. You can use this in a carpet shampooer. Fun trick. It makes everything smell islandy fresh. Then this is white vinegar, which I always have around, and then OxiClean. Are you gonna huff that?
I just love the smell of Gain.
Yes, and then we have our victims over here. I have little cards, note cards, with the product we're using on them and then the doll's name. So we're gonna use the OxyClean on Erica, the vinegar on TV Chef Barbie, the Gain on Annalise, and the homemade detergent on SpongeBob Barbie. Excuse the smudge, my Batman cup broke today and it leaked water and I accidentally put the snow card in the water and it drives me crazy. So we have Erica, we have TV Chef Barbie, we have Annalise, and we have SpongeBob Barbie.
And they're all about the same age except
TV Chef Barbie's from 08. The others are from
she has the same like
03,
rubber
04.
legs.
Yeah. I get like a pretty small container that can fill up pretty fast, and you're gonna want to fill them up a decent level. So I'm probably gonna fill them like boob level so that it doesn't like overflow the container. And it works best if you use like warmed hot water because that's what's gonna dilute this stuff the best. I mean, it doesn't so much matter with the vinegar. So we have Annalise here. I had to let my hot water heat up because it takes forever. So I'm gonna fill her up.
So I predict that the Gain, so Annalise, is going to have the best results. What do you think?
Either the Gain or the OxyClean.
I actually think the OxyClean will do the best out of the least. I think it's going to be the Gain, the vinegar, our homemade stuff, and then the OxyClean.
So you don't want to use much of any of this stuff because it's only one doll. So I'm just gonna put like, I would say this is maybe like a tablespoon. Also, this has blue dye in it, so I'm gonna actually pour it in through the running water so it kind of disperses. And then I'll use my sprayer.
Annalise, you lucky
Little
girl.
spa, and then I'll use my sprayer to kind of like stir it up. You could also use like a spoon or something. So I'm just gonna put a splash in. Again, maybe like a tablespoon or two. The vinegar I might use a little bit more. Oh. Okay. So then for OxyClean, I'm just gonna put like a little dash in. And I'm gonna sprinkle it a little bit at a time because this stuff takes a little while to dissolve. So then this is the homemade detergent. Colleen brought way too much as usual.
Okay, you said to get homemade detergent.
I didn't say a huge scoop. You don't even use this much to wash a huge thing of doll laundry. So I'm literally just gonna like put a little bit of this in it. This stuff is very gelatinous. So I'm gonna use my hands to kind of break it up.
Yeah, that's what I do when I'm doing doll laundry.
I'm gonna put a little bit more of this in here because this isn't super potent. Turn that down a little bit. So we have the 4 dolls all soaking in their little bubble baths. You can see that the OxyClean and the Gain are the most foamy. The vinegar looks like nothing's different. And this is a bit cloudy with the homemade laundry detergent. So we're gonna let these guys sit.
Revising my prediction here, I'm thinking the homemade laundry detergent will do the least.
I think so.
Because see how these are foamy and then vinegar just has a natural smell? So I'm thinking our homemade laundry detergent
I
will
don't
do
think
the
that'll
least.
do much of anything.
Whereas these 3 I think will all do pretty well.
It's basically just like soap.
Yeah, because it smells like bar soap.
So we have rinsed all of them. We have not washed them yet. We just emptied out the water and put the containers away. So far we have some very interesting and yet expected results. So Colleen, why don't you tell us how you have them arranged?
So this is an order from so far without even rinsing the stuff off really. What is most effective versus least effective? As I predicted, homemade laundry detergent is the loser. No, actually I thought the OxyClean would be. That's actually second to the least.
I'm actually kind of surprised that the OxyClean didn't do anything at all.
Smells amazing and
the vinegar smells like vinegar, but not.
yeah, but smell how you can't smell the smoke anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't smell as good as the Gain.
But you also can't smell it anymore.
Exactly.
Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some dish soap on their legs to get rid of the residue, and we're doing it to all of them, even though she doesn't really need it.
Yeah.
It's just the girls that wear powdery stuff that do. We're gonna dish soap them all to be fair,
Yes.
to keep it as equal as possible.
And then we're going to leave them undressed for a few days so their clothes don't affect the scent, and they're all going to be sitting in the basket in my computer room with just a few dolls that, you know, aren't super potent smelling. And I'm going to check in with you guys with Colleen. We're going to let you know our final results, our final thoughts. Do you see how Isla's legs are behind her? Oh my gosh, it's so cute. She looks like she's dead, but she's just a lazy pig. Hey, look at you, Isla. Look at you. Look at those little back legs. Are you comfy? Oh, you're so fat that you've given up on exercise. I think it's a little bit of both. Hi, so we are back, and the results are, as she said, very, very unexpected. So I also have a control subject here. So this is my magic hair Fiona. Fiona's been out airing out on the desk all week with some of my other brats that I need to make room for. She smells like BO and cigarette odor, and she actually got cleaned more than the other dolls because her hair needed a lot of work. So I still have these cards just so I didn't get confused. So we'll start with Erica. Erica was soaked in OxyClean, which initially when we took her out, it didn't do anything. She stank. But later on, like within the next day, it smelled a little bit better, and I haven't smelled them since. But how would you describe Erica's odor?
She still smells like cigarettes, just not as strong.
It's like you can smell the OxyClean and a slight whiff of like something smoky. Then we have TV Chef Barbie.
She was actually, when we
vinegar.
first took her out of the mixture, the vinegar was the strongest at first and had the best effect on the smell. However, within just a couple hours of her sitting on my bed, Annalise ended up smelling the best for a while, and she smelled not the worst, but she wasn't the best anymore.
Now, how I would describe her smell now, she pretty much just smells like plastic. There's like a really slight, like if you really sniff her, it's well, awkward, but if you really smell her, you can kind of smell a slight, very faint whiff of like nicotine, but she mostly just smells like plastic.
She also doesn't at all smell like vinegar.
And I want to say that if you have any kind of like doll item, clothing, or a doll that has been peed on by a cat, vinegar works the best. Nothing else touches that odor. So then we have Annalise, who is the second to best smelling. She was
I predicted she'd be the best. And after a day of being on my bed airing out, she was the best for a little while. But now she smells like Gain, but also still like cigarettes, just not as bad.
Yeah, you can't really smell the cigarettes, but you can detect it if you smell certain parts of her legs.
Yeah.
She basically smells like that islandy fresh scent from the Gain with like an undertone of cigarette here and there. But it's not like, I just want to preface this by saying that like these dolls before, you could be standing here and they're a few feet away on the sewing table. You could smell them before. Like, even when they were dressed in clean clothes, like, you could smell them before. And I want to say that the dolls I didn't do this treatment to, I only had a few of them waiting on my desk to be put away. I could smell them the other day when it was hot out. Like, this does work, even if there's, like, a faint scent, and that will eventually dissipate. So then the best one...
And this really shocked me to the core because she was the worst when we first took them out.
This is SpongeBob Barbie. And this was homemade laundry detergent. And as I said, homemade laundry detergent, the way I make it, it's literally just washing soda, borax, and a bar of soap. And I just use like a general like Dial soap that's like tropical scented. So it's kind of like almost like a Gain imitation. And it's a very faint, not overpowering smell. But I have noticed when we wash our doll laundry, and like my guinea pig's laundry in this homemade laundry detergent, it's not like Gain where like you walk around and you smell this glorious scent, but like you don't smell the bad stuff anymore. It does get rid of the odor, it just doesn't leave it like with this like overpowering florally scent, which kind of smells a little bit like bar soap. One little hint, like right at her where her knees bend, where you can kind of smell like a little teeny tinge of something maybe smoky. But if I didn't know that she was in a smoking home,
never would have guessed.
In conclusion, you could use any one of these products, whatever fits like your lifestyle and budget the best. Whatever you happen to have laying around, like if you're not comfortable using really strong chemicals, you could use any of these things and have good results.
I actually most endorse at this point our homemade laundry detergent because it's gentler than the Gain and it happened to work better.
There are other things you can use. Like I said, some people dilute bleach. You could use different things. I was talking to someone else and they said Febreze works for them. I think most importantly it's just time and letting the dolls air out or be around good smelling things that's going to make the long-term results. Keep in mind that like this is what I do and I'm just representing like what I've tried, but obviously I know there will be people in the comments who say what works for them and that's totally great. I just talk about things from my perspective. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
And now that she smells better, she looks prettier to me.
I know. Until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.